Greetings, people of the internet. This is Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for another Fan Art Friday. Now, we are going to pick up where we left off last week when we penciled and inked this sketch of Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games, Rey from The Force Awakens, and Imperator Furiosa from Mad Max Fury Road. I'm really digging this, and I'm excited to start laying some color down on that. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to break out the Copic markers, and we've got some other markers, too, that we're going to try out. We've got my classic, now discontinued, defunct Tria markers. We have a whole bunch of these Spectrum Noir markers, and just some miscellaneous markers that I've got lying around. So I don't really stick to one particular brand, although I do prefer the Copics, but I'm happy with whatever I can get, as many colors as I can get. So yeah, let's get to coloring. We'll see you at the art desk. Okay, time to color these ladies in, and I'm going to start off with my Copic markers, the flesh tones, and I'm real nervous because the only good flesh tones that I have are the Copic markers. I've got all these, and I just got all these new Spectrum markers, and I got a bunch of cool colors, but not a whole lot of flesh tones. And when I first started working with markers again, because that used to be my main, as far as colors, that was my main medium back when I first started, way back when. And then I kind of got out of it, but there was sort of this huge resurgence, or is now this resurgence of people doing a bunch of marker renderings and everything. It just becomes super popular again. So they're a little easier to come by, and seems like the price, they've always been sort of expensive, but the prices went up. But I just wish because I didn't, these other ones are a lot less expensive. So I wish I had some of those colors, and I didn't really get to choose what colors I got because I acquired them from various projects and things that I worked on. So fortunately, I really didn't have to pay much for them at all, if anything. So that's good. So beggars can't be choosers, but I'm always worried that I'm going to run out of the certain colors of the Copics, but I'm gonna have to order some refills for those, just because I was trying to use them very sparingly, just so I didn't run out of the colors. And the ones that I'm running out of, the colors that I really use a lot of, that I find that I'm lacking, are blues, like nice light blues, because I always do skies and things, so those, I run through those, and of course the different flesh tones and browns and things. So I've got a lot of darker light browns that I can use for darker skin tones, but the fairer skin I'm running out of. So we will have to see what I have to do about that. But anyway, so this is another marker that I'm using right now. That's the Tria, and those are the ones that I've got a pretty big collection of from way back in the days, and I've got a lot of refills, so I try to use those. I wish they all had the brush tip like the Copic markers, because see, now I'm saying Copic. I always say Copic, but I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But I've got a lot of colors of those, so yeah, and I like them, and I guess I'm using the small tip. Usually I use the chisel tip in lieu of. And that right there, with sometimes, when you've got markers that are running low on ink, don't always just toss them, even if they don't have refills, because the kind of the soot or the makeup or whatever it is that Furiosa puts over her face, that black, it looks kind of, it's like makeup or soot or grease or something. I didn't want it to be too dark, but that's actually a black marker that I used that was just pretty much almost gone, and I keep it around for just stuff like that, because it works good for like dirt and things like that, because it's it's just running out, and it just doesn't flood your page with colors. Reds are typically a problem, and you can see this when I'm working on Katniss, because the problem with reds is it's hard to go lighter with reds, because then you get into like the pinks and everything, and I've got a few different reds, but her costume, the red costume, maybe I should have done like the black costume, I don't know. But the red costume has a couple, it's like two different color reds. One's a little shinier and the other one's like a darker, almost like a maroon. So hopefully that came off. And of course I want to put some highlights and stuff. So a lot of times I do have my gel pen, my, what is it? I'm trying to remember what that was called. The Sino. It's called a Sino. And I use that for like certain highlights and things like that. But a lot of times you kind of want to pay attention to where your highlights are and just kind of leave those blank and work around them. And as you can kind of see, I did that there. So yeah, moving along. So that was the spectrum there. It's going so fast with these sped up videos. It's just switching from this marker to that marker. But yeah, Copic's top of the line. Those are my favorites. I do want to try out those Dick Blick markers because they look very similar, and they're, I don't know if they're half the price, but they're a lot less. And I don't know if they have refills or not. I'll have to check into that. The Spectrums have refills. I know that. And the Triads do too, although again, those are discontinued. But it's always good. I would always recommend, if you're going to invest in the markers, invest in the ones that are refillable, unless the other ones are just so cheap that it doesn't matter, that you could just replace them by buying new ones. Because when you purchase a refill, you can refill it, I don't know, like a marker like what, 12 times or something like that, and they're just a little bit more than the cost of a marker. So it's way better investment. The problem is you got to buy the markers to begin with, and Copics can run up to like, they can be around $8 a piece, and that gets pricey. So anyway, so I've got a good set of them, so pretty soon I'm going to have to start replacing them because I know that they're running low. But it is good that now, and you can see here I was talking about running out of blue, and this isn't my favorite color blue, but it'll do, and so I'm trying to use some of that, and then I got to get some real nice sky blues because I do a lot of that kind of cloud background and everything. And then I'll break out my special weapon, my Sino marker, and I'll add my little highlights coming up. That's where I put the glare in the eyes and all that stuff. You can see me doing that there. I just really love these, especially like on darker paper. It works really good. But anyway, thanks for following me. Thanks for liking. Please leave comments, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. I'll be back next week with something new. If you guys have any suggestions on a fan art character that you'd like me to do, please let me know. And until then, I'll see you guys later, and that is all.